So as of this recording, One Piece Day was yesterday, and we got a trailer for two big upcoming movies. In 2027, we are getting a God Valley movie, and in 2029, we're getting a movie called One Piece Film Bad. So the interesting thing about the trailer is that in both situations, both in the God Valley film and in the Bad film, D is emphasized. You see, the D in God is emphasized heavily in the God Valley trailer, and the D in the Bad film is bigger than all the other letters, and that's bad with two A's, by the way. So I got to thinking, okay, first off, happy that we have a God Valley movie. The event is pretty big in One Piece itself. It deserves it. I don't know how that's going to coincide with the actual anime. Are we going to start off like with Loki's flashback and then cut it where God Valley is supposed to come in and then continue off where God Valley ends? Is that how it's supposed to be? Because the Loki flashback is pretty big. Or is God Valley going to just be included in the anime in some way? Don't know. Now, when we get to the Bad film, here's what I'm thinking. And I've seen this going around online, and this has been a thought since One Piece Film Red. Is Bad about Buggy? And I ask this because in the narrative now, and I've said this in a video a while back, I think Buggy just might be the deuterocanist of One Piece. I'm sticking to that because when you look at Cross Guild, it's super weird just how prominent and how similar it's becoming when you compare it to something like the Rocks Pirates, because you have this guy at the center whose wanted poster looks very similar to Roxy Zebeck's, and then both of them end up collecting all these monsters from around the world with known reputations to join their organization. That's how it's panning out to be. And in both ways, the join method is a bit unconventional because, of course, Zebek recruited all his guys through Davy Backfights, and Bucky is recruiting all of his guys through weird happenstance by literally failing up. And what's weird about him is that he's one of the earliest fights that we see in One Piece, and yet, despite his weirdly prestigious reputation in the pirate world, in that he was a cabin boy for the Roger Pirates, he's the brother, in a way, to Shanks. He knows Whitebeard personally. You might as well say he knows Odin. He knows all these big people, yet we don't know where he came from. We don't know anything about him. It's weird at this point, when you really think about it, that we know a lot more about Blackbeard and Shanks as opposed to Buggy. And that's just a weird thought, because it's weird that Buggy's origins are the last to be truly revealed, yet we know a lot about Shanks and we know a lot about Blackbeard. And it's funny that both of them appear at very young ages in the God Valley incident. And there has to be a reason why you would announce this film in 2029 right next to the God Valley film. And getting back to the whole idea of the D being emphasized in the titles of both films, I do think the D clan is going to come up in both films, because we know for sure that in God Valley we have a lot of D clan members, and then Emu addresses Davy directly. Davy comes up as a big thing as Zebek is talking to Harold. So we know the Davy clan is a big thing. The Davy clan even lives on God Valley because that's Zebek's home turf. So the D clan is already a big part of God Valley as it is. But when you get into Bad, I think it might be revealed in Bad, if this is about Buggy, that Buggy is a D. And Buggy could be a part of the Davy clan. And I've toyed with this multiple times before, but I do think it's supposed to complement the God Valley film, as to say, okay, here is the man who kicked things off, and now he has passed, so Buggy is inheriting his will. That's what I'm thinking. I think a lot of the similarities between Buggy and Blackbeard are red herrings, like how they're both born in August. But I do think that Blackbeard is trying to be his father, whereas Buggy naturally is Zebek. As I gotta say, it's weird that both of them have the same wanted poster, and it's weird that we're having this film right next to this film that we don't know anything about. That's why I'm starting to think it could be about Buggy, because Buggy, out of all the warlords and Yonko that we have, his origin is the only one that's a mystery. So it really does make you think maybe it is about Buggy, because as we keep moving forward in the story, Buggy is going to get more and more important. And I have been alluding to this in the various videos I made about Cross Guild, but I do think Cross Guild is going to be one of the bigger organizations in the One Piece world. I think we're going to get rid of the Revolutionary Army to make way for Cross Guild. I truly think that's going to happen. And I think there are going to be a lot of prominent characters in Cross Guild by series end. Doflamingo being one of those characters. I think we're going to see a lot of developments move forward in the future. But with that being said, I'm excited for the movies. Can't wait for them to come out. I'll cover them as soon as I am able. But if you're enjoying the video so far, click the like button. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button, followed by that bell so you never miss a video. In addition to, if you could, hit the hype button because it really does help. And with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What?